Biden aides, according to NBC News sources, find more classified documents. And we're not talking about the ones they found yesterday. This is an additional set of documents. On the line with us right now is the president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tell us, what are you hearing about this? I mean, this is crazy. Talk about hypocrisy at the highest level.
Crazy, absurd, you name it. They found new classified records. They're not telling us where they were, which I think is interesting. I guess they don't want the FBI to raid the location.
You really think they would raid Biden? Please.
Back several years ago, we had sued because the archives weren't taking control of records that Bill Clinton had. He had audio tapes that an author had taken of him calling a foreign leader and talking to members of Congress. And we're like, well, isn't this a presidential record? And, the court told us, go jump in a lake. You can't get this. Archives told us, no, you got to give him, the ability to decide what's personal and presidential. So when all this stuff with Trump emerged, we're like, what is going on here? This is an exact 180-degree turn from the prior Justice Department and National Archives position. But new rules for Trump. So sure enough, the rules they're applying to Trump, surprisingly, are not applying as aggressively to Joe Biden and, frankly, to every other former president and vice president who must be sweating bullets wondering what the heck they might have that they thought they were able to take. What an absurdity. And if Biden had any gumption, he'd come in and shut it down. We made a mistake. Clearly, the presidents have prerogatives. Vice presidents have prerogatives in what documents they can take. If there's anything they think is inappropriate, we'll take them. No harm, no foul. Let's just move on from this and stop abusing Trump while making a mockery of the law by so brazenly protecting Biden.
Tom, it's Richard Weinberg. What I'm concerned about is the substance contained in these documents. What will it tell us about the relationships between the Biden family enterprise and these foreign governments? And that's what I think the American people have a right to know. If there's nothing there, we should know that. If there's something there, we should certainly know it, given the policy decisions of this administration. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of questions because we're just presuming, well, these were his White House documents. Well, were they? Or maybe they were Hunter's documents that he got from his father. I don't know.
And
then we found out yesterday or the other day it's 10 documents, and then Biden yesterday is talking about boxes he turned over. What's going on here?
So what is Judicial Watch going to do about this?
For similar conduct, they raided the former president's home. And by the way, we now learn the FBI didn't want to do that, and they were overruled by Biden political appointees in the Justice Department.
So in this situation, Tom, what is Judicial Watch's role going to be, if any?
Well, we've litigated, and we're already in court trying to figure out what they've been doing with respect to Trump, how they've been handling these records, and suing in court to expose the Justice Department and National Archives machinations against Trump world. Obviously, we're going to have to file some lawsuits to find out how they've been protecting Biden, and since, by the way, November 2nd of last year. They knew about it, and they've been hiding it until this week.
Tom, it's Tony Carbonetti. Did you just say that the decision to raid Mar-a-Lago was made by a political appointee, not by the rank and file that do this as a matter of course?
That they were overruled?
Yeah, if I'm reading the Washington Post correctly, it was a week or so ago, they reported that the FBI had objections, to the initial investigation, and were very hesitant about doing the raid. And the raid was pushed, and it was pushed by a political appointee in the Justice Department.
Those are the things that need to be investigated.
This was not career civil servants making the decision. This was someone who was appointed by the president.
And the fact that they used a team from Washington to go down to Mar-a-Lago, that's not normal protocol, right, Tom Fitton? Again, we're talking to Tom Fitton. He is the president of Judicial Watch, and we're talking about another batch of classified documents that Biden apparently had in his possession.
Never in American history has there been a raid on the home of a former president, and certainly certainly there was no justification here, especially for a facility protected by the Secret Service.
And what's going to be interesting, I think, Tom, is this new subcommittee that's just been appointed by the leadership of the House, a so-called church committee, to investigate the weaponization of governmental agencies against political opponents. What do you say about that?
Well, I think they need to make sure their jurisdiction is expansive, and I think it is. And they specifically have the ability, by direction of the full House, to investigate the Justice Department's handling of this Trump records issue. So the idea that there's a criminal investigation and no one on earth can question them, that's not going to wash with this House, at least as the committee is currently constituted. I'm sure Congressman King would have loved powers like that when he was on committees.
I'd say that would have been great when I was chairman of Homeland. That would be terrific. But how can I tell you? Now, listen, I think this really has to be examined inside out, upside down, every which way.
I don't remember if you were on Whitewater or not, but
I was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine having the powers the last Congress exercised in terms of going after third parties, taking phone records, leaking them, of not government officials, but just regular citizens like they did?
I remember just asking Hillary Clinton's chief assistant in the White House, I forget her name now, Maggie Williams.
Yeah.
Maggie
Williams, yeah.
And Henry Gonzalez went nuts. Maxine Waters went nuts, and almost the whole committee came to a halt.
Wasn't she always nuts, Maxine Waters?
Well, if she went out of her way, that's why the fact I remembered it was even more nuts than usual. It was. Again, it's a totally different world today, and listen, I think we're going to get the job done.
Tom,
well, they've got the political support. I think they should operate as if they have a 90-seat majority when it comes to investigations.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Tom Fitton.